Alright gang, this is Thomas Bird with Tabletop Life. Today we're going to be playing a battle report with Sisters of Battle against Grey Knights. So we're going to test out the new hotness of the Grey Knights. We have a team tournament coming up in Vegas, a big team tournament that we've been prepping, so there hasn't been tons of content to apologize for that because we've been kind of gearing up for that. I've had to build an army from scratch because Jaime's playing his Space Wolf, so I can't use my beloved Boys in Blue. So instead, I'm going with the Sisters of Battle. So let's take a look at the list that we're running. I've tweaked it more or less 20 times in the last 2 weeks, but this is what I finally settled on. We're running a Patrol of Bloody Rose and an Outrider of Ebon Chalice. So not much different from the original list that we started with. But I do have some paint on these guys. It's only a week out, so got to get everything battle ready. It's going to be a struggle. It has been a struggle. There's a lot of models here, but we're going to get it done. You can look for the list in the description as well, but I'll go over it real quick here so we can get to the battle. In the Patrol, Morven Vahl, the Warlord. We got a Repentia Superior. She's got Beacons of Faith Warlord trait and the Fate Litanies of Faith relic to do some Miracle Dice manipulation. Got one unit of Sisters Squad troops. We have two 8-girl Repentia squads. 1, 2. We got one unit of 7 Zephyrum with the pennant. And yeah, that's all the patrol. Ebon Chalice side, we're going to have Celestine as HQ. We have the Dogmata. She's going to have the Sigil Ecclesiastic Relic, so she can know an extra hymn. She's going to know Righteous Fortitude, the no psychic power one, and the extra hymn for second sacred rite. She also has Terrible Knowledge Warlord trait, so she can regen CP and then start the first battle round with the 6. Ebon Chalice is kind of like, you want that. That's such a good Warlord trait. 2 fast attacks here. We got the Seraphim with double flamers. We got the 1 bodyguard squad with 9 girls, halberds. We got 1 troop squad. We got 2 retributor squads with 2 multi-meltas, 2 heavy flamers, double cherubs. We got 2 units of dominions with the stormbolters, and then we got 2 rhinos, and then still got out of this last minute, the Battle Sanctum, still plastic gray. Just barely built this thing. This thing is ginormous. I'm not even looking forward to taking this thing on an airplane, but that's in the list. So I'll have to get it all battle ready, get it all painted. But we're gonna play a game today. I want to see what Grey Knights are all about. Let's see what we got on the other side of the table.
Hey guys, this is Joe. I'm going to be playing Grey Knights today. So I've got links in the description, but I've got 2 patrols today. I've got a Brotherhood Rapiers patrol and then a Brotherhood Swordbearers patrol. In the Rapiers patrol, I have Grandmaster. He has 2 Warlord traits. He has First of the Fray, and then he also has he has a Warlord trait that gives him +1 to wound if he's charged or if he charges. All the Dreadknights are kitted the same, so they all have Gatling silencers, heavy Psycannons, and Nemesis Greatswords. The rest of the Rapiers, I have Draigo, and then I have 1 unit of strikes, and then 2 units of Interceptors. The Interceptors, 1 unit is all swords. The other unit is 8 halberds, 2 staves. On the Swordbearer side, I have another Nemesis Grandmaster. He has the Warlord trait that gives everyone within 6 inches OBSEC, and then obviously he's kitted the same way. He has Servant of the Throne, which is a gift that gives him the ability to, once per round when he's targeted, he just gets a 3-up invuln for the rest of the round, so it could be pretty tanky if he wants to be. The rest of that detachment, I've got another 5-man unit of strikes, another 10-man unit of interceptors, again, 8 halberds and 2 staves, and then I have 2 just box standard Dreadknights with the same outfit that I talked about before. And then there's 3 units of Servitors, 2 in one and 1 in the other. But that's me.
All right, guys, we're here. We've deployed. We are playing Sweep and Clear. For some reason, when I started doing the player place terrain, I completely thought we were playing a different mission. So instead of trying to fix that, I've just gone with what I've done. And I'll probably regret that later. So if you see the terrain and are asking your questions like, what is he doing? That's the reason why. So sweep and clear. Here's kind of the deployment zones. I'm in this quarter here. I'm really kind of staged in my Battle Sanctum, doing stupid Battle Sanctum things, trying to use as little bit of cover as I have. I only have one unit of Repentia in reserve and some Deep Striking Seraphim. Over here, the Grey Knights are also staged behind their building, but they really want to come up and punch me. We do have this guy who can jump away once you target him, so he's really not really there. Yeah, that's it. So taking a look at the secondaries, and on from his side, he's combat squad all his 10-mans, interceptors. He's got two interceptors and one strike squad in reserve, and then walking on all of the servitors. So he's trying to get Rod. So looking at the secondaries, I forgot about Ahor the Witch. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. That's the whole reason to play Grey Knights, is to get free secondaries, and I didn't even take it. We both picked Direct Assault. I picked to the last with my characters, and I've picked Stranglehold. He's got Rod with the Servitors, and then he's doing a Grey Knight secondary, Purifying Ritual. So he's got to do an action on the objectives. The more he does, the more points he scores. So that's the secondaries. We'll do the roll-off, and then we'll come back. All right. Grey Knights, unfortunately, won the roll to go first. I scooted my rhinos back a little bit, but still going to get shot. So let's talk about his psychic phase, and then we'll go into his shooting phase and let him do that, and we'll come back. But psychic phase, he tried to do psychic ritual. He failed it here. Rerolled it with a CP, still failed it. Over here, he tried to do psychic ritual. I blocked it with a 5-up because I took that as a sacred right, so didn't get that off. He did the jump with Grey Knights, whatever it is, Gate of Affinity with Draigo. So he's in position to shoot my Zephyr. Unfortunate. I wasn't really thinking about that. Over here, he's moved up. He's also moved these guys. They were able to get on the objective and do Psychic Ritual, so he got it once here. And then he boxcars, took a wound in the perils, and got it here. So you got two objectives with Psychic Ritual, but a lot of other powers failed. This guy flubbed his attacks. He did some smite on this Rhino. See, these guys moved up. They're going to probably charge it. So we'll see what he does. We'll be back at the end of turn one to see how bad it is for this. All right, end of turn one for the Grey Knights. Could have been worse for me, quite honestly. I feel somewhat relieved. He was able to draw a line of sight with both of those Dreadknights, though it only took one with the full rerolls from Draigo to pop this Rhino. I emergency disembarked, lost 3 guys. I was able to redeploy a full squad behind this wall, out of line of sight, and then I positioned the other 5 kind of in harm's way, took my 3 casualties. That left this guy only 1 unit to shoot because everyone else is screened by character or bodyguards. So he ended up just shooting them. He tried to make this charge on Celestine, flubbed it. Over here, he shot downtown. I still have to take my morale test on these Zephyrs. Rolled really badly. I made some good saves on the first gun, but the little gun Silencer, he did 7 -1s, and I failed a bunch, so I'm down to 2 guys there. Shot this Rhino. Wounded it, charged in. Actually, he smited it. These guys charged in, but he failed. They rolled 11 misses out of their 16 attacks. Only were able to do 2 wounds. I'm still alive. I'll punch back. But now it's my turn. What can I kill? He does have a 3-up invulnerable save once per game right here. Obviously, jumpy guy there can jump away. And I got to kill some strike squads, so we'll see what I do. All right, guys, end of turn 1. I still need to update the score, but fairly productive, I think. Here, he popped the 3-up invulnerable save. I was able to get 1 multi-melta through. I used my miracle dice of a 6 to turn it into 8 damage. I did 1 mortal wound that went through. I flubbed my 2d6 shots, but he did get down to 3. I was wobbling on the Repentia. They ended up charging here. Killed him barely. And then he fought when he died, used the last of his CP to kill 6 of them. Left me with 2, but I killed a guy in melee. I rolled a 2 for my miracle die, so I used that to auto-pass morale. Fantastic. That's going to give me this objective. Over here, I shot and did miracle. I did the blessed bolts with my dominions to kill a lot of these guys down to 1 guy. He had his Dreadknight here. I shot multi-meltas, and I did my first 3 shots, all went through. He failed all his saves, and I just rolled exactly 13 wounds. So they just straight up murked that guy. Everyone charged the 1 lone strike squad guy, interceptor, whatever he was, to get extra movement. The 2 Zephyr got the rewards for living, killed him, and I used that. I rolled the boxcars for their charge to slingshot them up. They piled in to take this objective away from him. So it's going to be a pretty good score. We're was looking kind of not in a good position. We do owe me morale here. Their leadership, what?
I don't.
They're 8s, right?
They're 8s,
So they don't care. They only lost 2 guys. He pulled them off the objective. So that's it. Let's go to the score. I did not get direct assault. He did not kill my friends. I only have 3 objectives to his 2, so I did get Stranglehold. Yay! He did not rod. We already got 2 points for 2 purifying rituals, and he did get direct assault. So the beginning of his turn, he's got 2 objectives, so he will pick up 10 on the primary. All right, we're going to turn 2. All right, turn 2. The Grey Knights have moved up. A couple guys have come in reserve. You still have 1 more squad in reserve? 2 more squads. So he brought 1 squad in here, tried to drop. He was trying to shoot and then move in the psychic phase so he can clear a hole to get Draigo to deep strike over there. I denied the power. I think he just failed it. He literally has failed 5 out of 6 powers, and I blocked like 1 or 2 of them. These guys backed up to be out of range. They failed Purifying Ritual. These guys failed Purifying Ritual. This guy got it off by the skin of his teeth. These guys smited and got 3 guys there. These guys smited and failed. I blocked it, and then did you Purifying Ritual here? And I think, yeah, I think he failed that. He failed that as well. And then this guy failed his power. So like there literally was no psychic things happening. But he's lined up to there. He's going to try to make an assassination run on Vol. I'm a little close. I expect him to come out of the booth. We'll see if it happens. But we'll be back after the shooting, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so we're about to do the assault phase. He did make this charge here. He shot all the Retributors. We did make the charge here. I reminded him that I could heroic intervene, so we made sure he piled those guys out. And then Celestine got double tapped here. So she's got a 2-man squad and a 5-man squad. He is in the Tide of Convergence, so he's going to do 6s to do mortal wounds. So now he has the dilemma of I have 2 CP, I can interrupt, and I have a bunch of high miracle dice. So does he fight with these guys to try to punk Celestine and let me interrupt? Or does he fight here first, and do I potentially just tank all the saves? Does he use big swings or little swings? So that's the decision he has to make. We'll come back and see what he does. All right, the dust has settled. Here's what happened. You can see there's no longer a Grandmaster there. He came in hot. I used all my CP to keep myself alive. He only got 2 damage through. He rolled Snake Eyes, or 1 and a 2 for his D6 damages. So basically I took 2 wounds. Yeah, so no damage, basically. I fought twice, killed him. Over here, both of these squads had to fight on Celestine. She almost lived with 1 wound, but the last save was able to kill him with a mortal wound. So she goes down, but she did roll a 2. So you know what that means. She's back. So that's it over here. He did kill the last 2 guys. No problem. Mortal wounds. And but we are now going to bottom of turn 2. I got my reserves to come in. I have a lot of cleanup to do, but I think I have enough in the tank to do some real work. I was kind of banking on some long ball charges, math-wise. Ended up giving the full +1 attacks over here, and not to these guys. It ended up costing me. I left 1 squad, 1 guy alive here, 1 guy alive here. They do owe me some morale, so we'll come back to that. Celestine grew a girl back in the fighting phase. She ended up killing the 3 guys here. The 1 girl fought here, and then he ended up electing to fight onto them. So killed the little girl, so she's back by herself. But she is next to the bodyguards. They passed the morale on the return fights. Vol, she rolled 6 hits. She decided to re-roll. No 6s, trying to fish for 6s. She rolled 3 1s, and that's what the guy has left. Mistakes were made. He survives. That cost me Stranglehold and Direct Assault. Sad, sad panda. He fought back, and I made my saves, so no damage on me, but the damage was done on the points. Repentia over here cleaned up and just consolidated in. So these girls over here dropped, shot during the movement phase, and then mortal wounded in the shooting phase, killed that squad there. So that's going to take him off the primary altogether, so he'll get 0 in the following turn. So let's look at the score.
I still get this one because I control it still.
Oh, he does, because of this.
And I still get this one because I control it after I touch it. Right?
Son of a gun.
So I still have 2.
He does. All my plans for foiling him have come to naught. Because of the mission, you get to control it when you're gone. So no direct assault, no stranglehold. He did rod. He got 1 point for purifying ritual, and he did get direct assault. So that's the end of that. He is going to pick up 10, even though there's no guys there. Sad panda. That's going to actually cause me problems later. But we're going on to turn 3. See what the Grey Knights can do. Alright, turn 3 Grey Knights. They just finished the psychic phase, so he brought in his last unit of reserves. He tried to smite. He succeeded. One of his rare psychic successes. He rolled 1 mortal wound. Blah, blah. This guy jumped out of combat. Can't do anything, just hanging here, just kind of be annoying. Wanted to rod. Over here, these servitors moved up onto the objective and rodded. These guys jumped out of the forest and tried to do their psychic power. Failed it. They're going to try to charge some repentance. I don't have any CP to fight when I die, so they're kind of exposed. Over here, he tried to smite, but it was the second smite. He rolled a 5. Draigo. No can do. He did get the jump off the gate. Gate of Infinity. Jumped him out of combat here so he can shoot. So Morven Val's on the objective, but that means that's not his objective anymore, so he loses his free objective power. But that's it. So going into his shooting phase, see if he can pick up Celestine. She's protected by the bodyguards for the moment. We'll see if that lasts. Right, end of the Grey Knight's turn. This charge happened here. He killed 6 out of the 8. I fought back, only killed 1. Flubbed my wound rolls. Failed morale, but did not lose the last guy, so I still got 1 repentia there. Over here, these guys failed a 9 with the reroll, left out in the wind. He did get his second rod, so he did get that. But he did, when he jumped away, left me on 3 objectives. So I'm going to pick up 15 on the primary this turn. That's going to, hurt. Alright, so we're on to turn 3 for the Grey Knights, or for the Sisters. Alright, end of the turn 3 Sisters. Look at the bank of Miracle Dice. They keep growing. I don't really have a lot to spend it on. We dropped with our Seraphim, the last unit of reserves, shot during the deep strike, spent my last CP, and then shot again. They were in cover, so they took a lot of 2-ups, but he failed a bunch. Left them with 1.5 guys there. I charged in with my Sisters, trying to hit the double charge, flubbed it. Did a couple wounds. He made the saves, but he flubbed his wounds, only killed 2, so I'm still alive, trapping him there. Over here, we shot the 1 lone guy with these Fighty Sisters, and then Celestine cleaned up these 5 guys with the help of the bodyguards. They're dead. Morven Val stuck her spear out, shot the 1 wound Dreadknight. He died. So that is it. End of the turn. Looking at the score, I picked up Direct Assault and Stranglehold. I did get 15 on the primary. That was rough. Now he's doing his turn. He's going to pick up 10 on his primary because he still has 2 objectives with his 3 models left. So we're seeing what he can do with Draigo. That's all he's really got left. And then some Servitors. So turn 4. All right, guys. Turn 4. Grey Knight Psychic phase is over. Another lackluster effort. Draigo smited Val when he moved up. Did 2 mortal wounds to me. I passed them both. 4-ups. What a jerk. And then he deep struck with his Gate of Affinity. And then hit the 9-inch. So he's in combat over here. So good for him. These guys smited. They failed to smite. How ridiculous is that? These Grey Knights can't even beat up 5 Sisters. I'm about to fight him first. I'm going to kill that 1 wound guy. It's going to be fantastic. Over here in the back, I didn't even know he had some more Servitors. They're hiding. They're secret. He rodded his 3rd rod. So good for him. That is it. Draigo decided to shoot his gun at her. And she's just like, whatever, -1. I made all my saves. So that's it. These Servitors moved up to steal that objective away from me. Staying outside of my heroics. So can Draigo do the deed that a Grandmaster couldn't do earlier? I got 6 wounds. We'll come back. All right, look what's happened. Val's still alive. He did 3 wounds out of his 6 attacks. He flubbed the roll a little bit. Only did 3. I Miracle Diced 1 and I passed 1. And I failed 1, so I took 2 damage. Over here, he did punch those girls. I failed to kill that guy. He made his saves, but they're free. And look, it's 1 repentia left. Friends to do something. We'll see if we can get rid of Draigo going into the last turns. Or turn 4, I guess. It's only bottom of 4. So he did his last rod, or 3rd rod. He did not purify. He did not get direct assault. I'm going to pick up 10 on the primary. All right, let's go into... All right, end of turn 4. Some risky calls here, not really necessary, I think, from a scoring perspective. But I was like, Draigo's got to go down. Sent Celestine in there. Both of my while we stand sitting there like, this could go really bad with Draigo. But too many attacks, too many mortal wounds. Draigo's down. These guys came and killed those Servitors were there. I flamed and just shot all the guys dead. They failed some 2-up saves. 3 of them perfect died. So that was the end of turn 4. He pretty much only has a unit of Servitors left in his 2 quarters. Not really anything left he could do. So we went ahead and scored it up. So at the end of the game, he's going to still pick up 10 because he has those objectives that I can't control. He controls them even though he left because of this mission. He picked up 3 rods, so it gives him 8. Purifying Ritual, the lowest I've ever seen out of Grey Knights. He only got it off 3. Not because I was really blocking powers, just because he couldn't roll a 5 or a 6 to save his life. Like, psychic powers were terrible. Felt really bad for him. But he flubbed the psychic powers. I guess that happens sometimes. Risky secondary. And then direct assault, he only picked up that 2 times. So he's going to pick up 6 there for a total of 57. We don't count paints over here. So just 57 without paint. On my side, I'm going to pick up 15 on the last turn, so I'm going to have 45 on the primary. I got the last direct assault. All my friends are still alive to the last. And then Stranglehold, I got it again. So 45 primary, 36, 81 to 57. The sisters take the Grey Knights. There's a couple really clutch plays that go one way or the other. This game could pretty heavily swing. I just have a few models, but all my powerful characters were doing work most of the game. They normally just hang back, try to hide and stay alive. This game, they're very aggressive. They were in harm's way, but boy, they did some work. So good job for the sisters. Take that, Grey Knights. We're the better Imperium army. That's Thomas from Tabletop Life. Thanks, Joe, for playing that game with us and surviving all those terrible rolls. He was a great sport about it. We will see you next time